Hello everyone, we will continue the topic update function module, and in the previous video we took a requirement and we will achieve that requirement using update function module. So as a part of that we created a table with two columns, date and the count. Now what we will do, I will create a update function module. In that function module, we will write the logic to update this particular table. So I will simply go to SC80 transaction code first, because you all know whenever you want to create a function module, the first thing you need to create a function group. The function group is a container for the function module. If you have already function group available, you can use that also. So I will go to SC80 transaction group. And yes, I will create a function group first. From the drop down, you can choose function group. Suppose I will give some name to the function group. Suppose ZFG. Suppose I will say order count. I will go for enter. Yes, it is asking, do you want to create the function group? Yes, I want to create. I will give the short description. Function group. I will go for save. Suppose I will save it as a local object only. Now, do not forget to activate the function group. Whenever I'm creating function group, I always emphasize on this. You should always activate the function group. So our function group is ready. Now we will create a function module. Yes, processing type will be update function module, but anyways, it is a function module only. So I will go to SC37 transaction code and we will create a update function module. Suppose I'm saying ZFM. Suppose I will write update sales order count. Update sales order count. Okay, rather than using update, I will simply write ZFM for sales order count. I will go for create. I will pass the name of the function group. And I will give the short description. Function module for sales order count. I will go for save. I will go for OK. And I will activate this function module. Now, the first important thing, the topic is itself update function module. So we need to choose which radio button? Update module. The processing type will be update module. Now, we need to update the date and time. Date and time into this particular table. Creation date and count. Sorry, I used the word time. Creation date and count into this particular table. So what will be the input to this particular function module? We will take the input to this particular function module as date. Yes, this date we will pass from VA01 transaction code. Whenever we will create a sales order through VA01 transaction code, that date will act as a input to this particular function module. So what will be the input to this particular function module? Date. Because whenever you are creating a sales order, it will be on a particular date. So the input to this particular function module will be date. Now suppose I will give the parameter name PERDAT. I will go for type, and the data element for the date, I'm using ERDAT. Same way, I just took it from VBAK table itself in the previous video I showed you. Now, I will go to source code tab, and in the source code tab, we will write the logic for the same. And here you will get so many understandings because we need to think before writing the logic. Now, the first important point. You need to insert the data to this particular table. Now, just go for a understanding. You want to insert or you want to update? The answer is we need to do both. We need to do both. I'll just go for a understanding. Suppose I will go for a simple example. Suppose today is 15th March. Today is 15th March. Suppose I'm creating a first sales order number. I'm creating a first sales order number. So whenever I will create a first sales order number, the system will go to this particular table. So for 15th, there is no data into this particular table. It means first time we need to insert, because whenever you will insert, this date will go to this particular column, and what will be the sales order, what will be the count, it will be 1. So first time it should go for insert. Now just think next time. Suppose I'm creating one more sales order onto this particular date itself. At that time, you cannot go for insert. Count will be 2, but you cannot go for insert, because if you will insert, system will throw you runtime error, because date is the primary key of the table. So in that case, we need to go for update, and this 1 will be replaced by 2. 1 will be updated as 2. So this will be the only record in that table. It is important to understand what you want to achieve. We want the total count of sales order on a particular date. So first time, whenever data will go to this particular table, it will act as insert. Next time, it will not be insert, because you already inserted that data on that particular date. Next time, you need to go for update. You cannot go for insert. So just think, we already covered that topic, database operation. If you want more understanding on database operation, you can simply refer the ABAP programming part 2 playlist. Now, rather than insert, we will go for which database operation? Modify. You all know modify fulfill both the purpose. Modify database operation is for both the purpose. It can go for insert also. It can go for update also. If the record is not existing, it will go for insert. If the record is existing, it will go for update. So first time, it will act as insert. Next time, if you are going for same to same date, it will act as update, because our target is on a particular date, can be any number of sales order. So we need to store the total count. So you can understand in a way also, in this table, we have only one entry for a particular date, because date is the primary key of the table. We cannot go for multiple entries. We will just update the count for that particular date. Now I will write the logic for the same. Now, what is the syntax for the modify database operation? Modify database table from work area. Modify your database table from work area. Or if you have an internal table, you are writing modify database table from table internal table. Anyways, we are going for single record at a time to database table. So we will simply go for this syntax. It means firstly, I need to declare the work area. So I will declare the work area. Data. LWA underscore update type. Now it is already covered in the update in the database operation that whenever you are going for database operation, the internal table and work area should have the same type as that of database table. So it means whenever I will declare the work area or internal table, it must be same as that of database table. So I will simply pass the name of database table. So I will declare a work area of type table itself. Now this table has 3 columns including MA and DT. It means our work area also has 3 columns including MA and DT. Now I will write the logic. So firstly, we will pass that data to this particular work area. LWA underscore update hyphen. What is the first column? ERDAT. Your date is coming from which particular column? PERDAT, because this is the input. Now we will go for count. Now again the extremely important understanding. What will be the count? What will be the count? Now again understanding will come. Now just see. Suppose we are going for inserting for the first time. At that time, what will be the counter? Counter is always 1. Counter is always 1. Whenever you are going for the second time, counter should increase. If you are going for third time, counter should increase. If you are going for fourth time, counter should increase. Now just see how I will write the logic for the same. I will write select. I will write count. Select count. What is the name of the column? I will just see in that table. Select S count. I will write into. I'm just taking a variable. LV underscore count from. Select S count into LV underscore count from our table. This is the table. Now I will put a where condition. Where ERDAT is equal to PERDAT. I am writing if size sub RC equal to 0, LV underscore count is equal to LV underscore count plus 1, else part LV underscore count is equal to 1. And I will declare LV underscore count. I will explain this logic. It's easy to understand, but just we need to think why we are doing. Now I will write data LV underscore count type. This is the data element for this count. Now here I will go for single, select single, because you are passing the date, so always how many records will come? Single record, single. Now I will just check the syntax up to this level. I will go for OK. Now I will simply activate. I will just remove this warning also, whatever the warning is coming. Okay. Now it is saying reference parameter are not allowed in the update task. I will simply choose this particular checkbox. If during RFC topic also, yes, your parameter should always be passed by value. Now during update function module also, the parameters must be passed by value. It should not be passed by reference. I will go for syntax check and I will activate. Now just see how this logic will work. You will understand fully. Suppose date is 15th. ER date is equal to 15th. It will go to this table and check. It will go to this table and check. Do you have 15th in this particular table? Into this particular table, currently there is no record of 15th. So what is the size sub RC? Size sub RC will be other than 0. It means what will be the counter? Counter will be 1 because you are inserting for the first time. So counter will be 1. Now next time. Next time, what will be the date? Date will be 15th. It will go to this table. What will be the counter? Counter will be 1. So what will be size sub RC? Size sub RC will be 0. So 1 plus 1 will be 2. It means we need to now update 1 with 2. Next time date will be 15. What will be the counter? Counter will be 2. So 2 size sub RC 0. 2 plus 1 will be 3. So we will update 3 into the database table. Now we will write the logic to update the count also. So I will write LWA underscore update S count is equal to LV underscore count. And I will just go for modify. Modify is compulsory. Insert will throw the runtime error because first time it is insert, after that it is update only. Modify database table from work area. LWA underscore update. I will check the syntax and I will activate. Extremely important video from the logic perspective, especially for the beginners, because this video will give you lots of things in terms of writing the logic. So what is the summary of this particular video? In this video, we are now covering the second part of the requirement, that we will write a logic in the update function module to update the database table. So I created the function group. You all know whenever you want to go for function module, function group is compulsory. I created the function group. I activated the function group. Then we created the function module and the processing type, we took it as update module. What will be the input to this function module? Your date. Anyways, date we will pass from VA01 transaction code. That part will come later. But date will be your input to this particular function module. Now, here, after that I covered, you cannot go for insert database operation, because if you will, date is the primary key of the table. If you will go for insert First time it is successful. Next time it will throw you runtime error, because how you can insert the same date again, because only date is the primary key of that table. Then we need to use modify, because modify will act as insert plus update both. First time it will act as insert, next time it will go for update. Now after that we need to just simply think in terms of counter. First time counter will be 1, next time it should increase by 1. So we have put a query on that table. We are fetching the counter from that table. If the record is not existing, it means the counter is going for the first time. So counter is 1. So for that date, the counter is 1 and we simply inserted the record to database table. Next time, if the record is existing, we are increasing the counter by 1 and we are updating the records into database table. And yes, one important point which I forgot to cover in the beginning of the introduction, I will add this point also. Your every parameter should be passed by value. Pass by reference is not allowed. Now in the next video, we will call this function module in VA01 transaction code, and again huge amount of detailed learning will be there now, because now it will be the real use of this in VA01 transaction code. So that's it in this video. Thank you.